Court does call the case of the people versus Albert Vega. I didn't see it. All right, go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, we've reviewed the pre-sentence report. There are no corrections. I wanted to update Your Honor as well as probation. The victim is here. My client is prepared to pay all restitution up front today as well as fines and costs. He'd like to address the court at the appropriate time as well. I'm ultimately asking you to follow the recommendation.
All right. And you said the victim is here.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there was a big
Okay.
mistake.
All right. Very good.
Your Honor, yeah, it was my understanding that she was having to be present.
Okay. Very good. And you wanted to address the court. Is that correct, sir?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, I'm just sorry for everything that happened. I'm regretting it since it happened. I'm trying to be a better person. How they told me through probation there'd be an anger management class. Look into that and try to be better.
Okay.
And never want anything like this to happen again or do anything like this again.
Okay. Very good. Sentence of the court, I'll place you on a 12-month prosecutor deferred sentence. You're to pay $655 fines and costs, $360 probation oversight fees, $1,454.54 restitution to Brianna Atwell payable to the court. Is it correct? You can pay all of that today. All right. That is paid. That is ordered paid today. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to complete an anger management program as directed by probation. You are to complete 25 hours of community service. There's to be no contact with Brianna Atwell directly or indirectly. You are also not to engage in any assaultive, threatening, or intimidating behavior. I'll set a review hearing on this case to be held April 8th, 2026, 9 a.m. I will suspend 365 days in jail. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls the case People versus Richard Hallstead.
Morning, Your Honor. David Lacoste appearing on behalf of Mr. Hallstead.
Good morning. Your name?
Richard Hallstead.
Thank you. All right. Go ahead, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. We have reviewed the pre-sentence investigative report, and there are no corrections. And I just want to say that Mr. Hallstead understands that what he did was wrong, and he is prepared to never darken the doors of this courtroom again. So we would ask for a recommendation as to follow the probation officer.
All right. Mr. Hallstead, is there anything you'd like to tell the court before I impose sentence?
I'm truly sorry for my actions. Trying to do the right things.
All right. Very good. It's the sentence of the court. I will place you on 6 months prosecutor's deferred sentence. You're to pay $480 fines and court costs, $180 probation oversight fees. When can you get that paid, sir?
Yes. Are we able to spread that over the term of probation?
We could probably do 5 months. Does he have anything today?
Yes.
How much do you have today?
I do have.
Half of it today? Okay. I'll indicate 1/2. I'm not going to do the math. Thank you. $330 today. And then the balance is directed by probation in a payment plan. All right.
Thank you.
There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You are to complete the CCOP program or a comparable program. You're to maintain employment with proof to probation. I'll set a review hearing that's to be held October 8th, 2025 at 9 a.m. I'll order 90 days in jail that is suspended. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Court calls the case People versus Steven Bern.
Good morning, I have reviewed the pre-sentence investigation report.
Is he here?
I have not been able to review that with them.
Okay.
I have a good contact now for them.
Yes. All right. hate issuing a bench warrant where he's already served the max time.
I've reached out to a program that I have and trying to locate people, reaching out to relatives, have back calls back.
All right.
So
What I'll do is I'll have an order to show cause issued. We'll set a date on that, so it's on our sentencing date. What?
April 30th at 12.
That gives us enough time. Yeah, to get it out today. And I'll set a date for April 30th, 2025 at what time? 12 noon. All right.
thank you very much.
Thank you. What's the case? People versus Jason Allen.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Case, on behalf of Mr. Allen, who appears to be.
Here.
There he is. Sir, can you please state your name for the court?
Jason Allen.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today is the date and time set for sentencing. We have had the opportunity to review the PSIR with Mr. Allen. We have no changes or corrections and would respectfully request the court adopt probation's recommendation. I would just respectfully ask that he be given some time to pay. I understand the statutory minimum fee for the fines and costs.
I don't set a date.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Mr. Allen, anything you want to tell the court before I impose sentence, sir?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, very good. How are things going for you?
Excellent. Don Farms is a great.
Yes, it is. It is. All right. Sent to the court, $125 statutory fee, 90 days in jail, credit 90 served. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case, People versus Robert Augustus.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Case, on behalf of Mr. Augustus, who's approaching. The record, sir?
Robert Augustus.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today is the date and time set for sentencing. Mr. Augustus and I have had the opportunity to review the PSIR together, and we have no material corrections and would be respectfully requesting that the court adopt probation's recommendation.
All right. Sir, anything you want to tell me before I impose sentence?
No, sir.
All right. Sentence of the court, I'll place you on probation for a period of 12 months. You're to pay $655 fines and court costs, $360 probation oversight fees. When can you get that paid, sir?
Today.
Thank you. Pay that today. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drug. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to continue individual therapy through the VA with status reports to probation. You're to attend one AA meeting per week with monthly verification to probation. There is to be no unlicensed driving by you. I'll order 365 days in jail. Credit to the balance is suspended, sir. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Leon, is that you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. He said yes. All right. Go ahead. It's a bit of a delayed transmission on it.
Thank you, Your Honor. So although me and Mr. Leon have not met in person, we have had a phone conversation and went over the pre-sentence investigation report and recommendation. And we would be asking the court, or we have no changes to the report, and further would be asking the court to adopt probation's recommendation.
All right. Sir, it may be a bit hard for you to do because your transmission is off, but is there anything you want to tell me before I impose sentence?
No, not off the top of my head, no, sir.
Okay. Actually, that came through rather clearly, so we're good. It's a sentence of the court. You're to pay $655 fines and court costs, $2,298.98 restitution to Costco payable through the court. I will apply the bonds in the amount of $2,215. You're to pay the balance of $83.98 today. All right. And when can you pay the fines and costs, sir?
I'm currently working on it right now. I'm no longer working at White Castle because I was ready for the move. So right now I'm just taking care of my daughter and doing DoorDash, but my car had recently broke down, so I'm waiting to get that fixed.
All right. You need to get the rest of the restitution into us today. but I'll give you until May 31st to get the fines and costs in, okay?
That's my birthday. That's fine.
That's your birthday, is it? It sure is. So if somebody says happy birthday and you haven't paid me, we got problems. All right? Okay. Court does call the case Field versus Ryan Atkins.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Kimberly, on behalf of Mr. Atkins, who is approaching. Stating the record, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. Today's the date and time just for a show cause on a close misdemeanor case. It's my understanding there's still a balance of 470, but Mr. Atkins has been in custody, to my understanding, since November of 2024. So I would just ask for possibly a lengthy adjournment. Yeah.
And not, is he likely to be released anytime soon or no? And that's on a, is that on a felony case or?
Something all done since, don't be out to December 30th.
Got it. Okay. You said 30th? Do we have anything?
I don't think it's that far.
Give me the second. Give me the, just for a placeholder date, the second Wednesday in 2026.
January 14th.
I'll adjourn the matter to January 14th, 2026, 9 a.m. What you may want to do, Ms. Fade, is just file something and see if we can get rid of most of this so he doesn't even have to come back and deal with it. Okay. All right. Court does call the case People versus Gregor Yarrison.
Thank you, sir.
Gregor Yarrison.
Thank you.
Teresa Claire on behalf of probation, Your Honor. Mr. Garrison is before the court for a violation of probation. Mr. Garrison is in violation of the terms ordered by this court in that he owes a balance of $1,595. He's made no payments towards any of the fines set. He failed to complete the 90-minute alcohol awareness session with Anita Griffin, failed to complete the victim's impact panel, failed to report to probation, failed to comply with the Smart Start alcohol monitor, and had just dropped it off at the location. And Your Honor, I had recent police contact on March 26th of this year with Adrian Police Department. I did provide a copy of that report to the court. There was a 625G issued, and there's an alleged use of drinking with a PBT of a 0.11. Given the circumstances with Mr. Garrison and this being an OWI second offense, probation is recommending that Mr. Garrison be sentenced to 365 days in jail with credit for 17 days served, that he is to serve the remaining balance, is to waive remaining terms of the rest of the probation, accepting the financial obligations and discharging the probation account.
All right. Does he wish to have a full hearing on this? Or does he acknowledge?
No, Your Honor, I have discussed this with Mr. Garrison. We have discussed in detail both the alleged violations of probation as to the recommendation. As to the violations, candidly, Mr. Garrison, we had a very long, pragmatic conversation that yes, these violations did occur. The only thing he did want me to add and explain to the court is that he did state to me that yes, he violated probation while he was on his alcohol monitoring device. He does state that this was going back a few years ago. He did call probation after some time not being in contact, and then of course he was advised to turn himself in on, I believe at that time, warrant may have already been outstanding. He stated to me that of course he did not turn himself in, and looking back, he should have done so. He was very honest with me that he did mess up on probation and he wishes he hadn't. He also stated to me that yes, I have a drinking problem and I have messed up on alcohol. He has no violent offenses in his history that I'm aware of. His only other pending matter is that new matter now with Adrian. He acknowledges he did mess up and is fully admitting that to both the court and to probation. As to the recommendation, he is asking that the court do not impose the jail time. I am requesting that he be discharged from probation without improvement except for the financial application, the remaining terms to be waived. For the alternate, I'm asking the court to consider an early release from jail if he were to complete the in-jail bond farm program. Mr. Garrison states to me that he did already sign up for the Don Farm in Jail program as well as AA classes since he was brought to the jail last week. His only other pending matter, like I stated, is that Adrian pending case. He resides there with his father. He has a very strong support network. He has 8 children, ages 2 to 22, that he fully supports. He owns his own business and works as doing preventative maintenance on vehicles. He does not have any violent allegations, to my understanding. He's a very hardworking family man who just acknowledges he does have a struggle with alcohol. And again, to that end, he did sign up for the Don Farm in Jail program as well as AA classes in the jail. He's asking the court to consider not imposing the jail time so he can get back to work and supporting his children. He understands that he did violate his probation, but he's asking the court to discharge him from that without improvement and not impose the jail time. And I'm asking that in the alternate, if the court were to impose the jail time, that the court would consider an early release upon the completion of that program.
Sir, anything you want to say?
Yes, sir. First off, I'd like to apologize to you on the court for my actions. Secondly, I actually did complete the 90-minute assessment with Anita Griffin. I recall doing that. I spent a whole day in Ann Arbor doing that. Other than that, my actions speak for themselves. I just want to get better and do better and be a better person. I'm not riffraff. I don't cause other issues out in the community. And being apologetic for my actions.
Sentence of the court, I'm going to order 365 days in jail, credit 17. The balance the defendant is to serve. I will waive the remaining terms except his financial obligations, discharge him from probation without approval. Thank you. Court does call the case of the people versus Christian Ramirez Fernandez.
Mr. Christian Ramirez Fernandez. Say your name, please.
Oh, Christian Ramirez Fernandez.
All right.
We are here for sentencing. We did review the assessment as well as the recommendation. And we do ask that you adopt it in the most part. I am again asking for a 6 months probation term. Mr. Fernandez has been completely compliant on bond. He does not have any other criminal history. This incident occurred essentially because he was helping out a friend. He didn't have any intention of violating the law last night or that night, but he does understand how serious this case was and has demonstrated that to me during these proceedings. I do think he is a very good candidate for probation and will complete everything as me.
Sir, anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
Yes, sir. That bad decisions can change your life. This decision that I made that day is showing me, how it can affect my family, my kids, my work. And I'm thankful because in the last 6 months, my life has changed, gratefully, in a really good way. And, I'm just trying to become a better person and become better and to follow, the law and get better.
All right. The court acknowledges this is not a serious misdemeanor as defined by statute, however, believes there are reasonable grounds to depart from the presumption of a non-probationary sentence. The alcohol screening and assessment identifies the benefit of alcohol education and attendance at AA meetings. Therefore, the court will follow the recommendation of probation for a probationary sentence with the stated rehabilitative goals to promote change, prevent recidivism, and to monitor compliance of recommended treatment. So therefore, the sentence of the court, I will place you on 9 months probation. You are to pay $855 fines and costs, $100 prosecution recovery costs, $100 police agency recovery costs, $270 probation oversight fees. When can that be paid?
I can pay 100 today and probably in 15 days pay the rest.
15 days. All right. So pay 500 today. And then the balance will be due by April 30th.
Yes.
There's to be no use of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drug. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You are to complete the alcohol highway safety education program. You're to attend 3 A meetings per month with proof to probation. You are to provide proof of the victim's impact panel attendance to probation. I'll order 93 days in jail. Credit 1, the balance is suspended. Thank you. Court calls the case People versus Matthew Gibbons.
Public Defender Natalie Cave with on behalf of Mr. Gibbons, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
That's a good.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today's the date and time for a show cause hearing on April the 2023 closed case. There is still a balance. Mr. Gibbons has been in custody since the beginning of this month. To my understanding, he's expected, not beginning of this month, beginning of February. I apologize. And it's my understanding he's to be serving court at the end of this month, and there is a good chance he may be. In speaking to my client, it is our understanding that he may be released to treatment inpatient in the coming months. That being said, I am asking for an adjournment of the show cause.
All right. All right. I'll adjourn this matter June 11th, 2025, 9 a.m. Let's see where we are at that point. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls case People versus Cynthia Solomon.
Public Defender Natalie Cave with on behalf of Ms. Solomon. Zoom. Ma'am, can you please state your name for the record?
Cynthia Solomon.
Thank you. I have been able to review the PSIR and have provided that to my client. My understanding, we do not have any changes or corrections, and I would be asking the court to adopt probation's recommendation. I will say Ms. Solomon is, as to fines and costs, Your Honor, I do know that she is currently pregnant and is expecting to give birth, I believe, the end of this month. I do not believe she is currently working, so I would ask that the court would consider a payment plan as to fines and costs.
All right, ma'am, is there anything you want to say?
Not necessarily, just that, I don't know, nothing really. I don't have nothing to say.
All right. Sent to the court that I'll place you on 24-month probationary term. You are to pay $555 fines and costs, $720 probation oversight fees, $1,349.54 restitution to Meyer payable through the court. I will indicate that's to be paid on a payment plan as approved by probation, given the circumstances. There is to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to continue mental health services through Washtenaw County CMH. Follow all recommended treatment, including medication protocol. You're to obtain your GED with proof to probation. No going to any Meijer store within the state of Michigan. I'll order 365 days in jail. Credit 52. The balance is suspended. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Solomon.
Thank you.
Court calls case People versus Gabriel Steven.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Cave. I can move with it on behalf of Mr. Steven, who appears via Zoom. Sir, can you please state your full name to the court?
Yes, my name is Gabriel Alexander Steven.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today's the date and time. I have had the opportunity to review the PSIR with Mr. Steven. We have not changed his court corrections. Respectfully requesting the court to adopt probation's recommendation. Mr. Steven is as to the fines and costs. He is currently actively seeking employment, has not yet secured it. I did provide him with the ability to pay for him to submit to the court. We are asking for a payment plan as arranged by probation as to the fines and costs. Outside of that, we're asking the court to adopt probation's recommendation.
And Teresa Claire on behalf of probation. Your Honor, the victim, Phoenix Wesson, is here present today. She would like to address it.
All right, very good, ma'am. Come on up. Hello. What's your name?
My name is Phoenix Blossom.
All right. What would you like to tell the court?
I have a pre-written statement here.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, my name is Phoenix Blossom, and I am the victim of the crime committed by the defendant, Gabriel Steven. In December of 2023, my apartment at the complex where Mr. Steven was working as a maintenance employee was broken into, and among the items stolen from that unit was a personal possession of my late grandmother's, which is the only item that has thus far not been recovered. This crime has had a profound and lasting impact on my life, and I am here today to share with you the impacts that I continue to experience. Violation of my personal space left me feeling vulnerable and unsafe in my own home. I chose in 2024 to move out of that apartment unit to another one, and likely will move yet again this year out of my apartment complex altogether due to its emotional associations with the crime. The sense of security I once had living by myself has been shaken, replaced by a constant fear that if I were not more vigilant, it could happen again. I find myself checking locks multiple times, double-checking items in my possession when I leave home, and making sure everything is where I left it when I arrive back. I no longer allow maintenance units from the complex into my home when I am not there, and always get anxiety attacks if and when there have been such entrances without my knowledge or approval, which is also motivating my desire for departure. This ongoing anxiety has affected my ability to focus fully when away from my home, my relationships with others whom I no longer allow in my current home, and in many ways, my overall quality of life. I have ongoing sessions with my therapist, and it has been helping me to take back some measure of control and acceptance of lack of control over some things in my life. But still, I would not wish this level of anxiety upon anyone. Adding to the emotional distress I face is the loss of my grandmother's possession. This item held immense sentimental value as it was made by her by hand the month and year that I was born, and represents a tangible connection to a woman who was a significant positive part of my life. We and her family all treasure the things she left behind for us, pieces of her presence in the world that are all we have left to hold on to after she was taken from us. To this day, I'm still reluctant to accept gifts offered to me by family, especially those that were made by her, out of the fear that my current housing situation is cursed, or that I am cursed, and that they will be lost forever as well. I still call it her quilt, because in my mind, I was merely a guardian for it, protecting that part of her spirit that she left behind her. And I feel that I failed in my job. Over a year has passed since the crime, yet the emotional wounds for me still clearly remain. I continue to struggle with feelings of anger, sadness, and fear. At the same time, I have never wished for this sentencing to be punitive in any way. I've had some payout by insurance for the loss of my grandmother's quilt, so financial recompense is not something that I am looking for either. I simply want there to be justice, fair and fitting of the circumstance, and an understanding going forward that this should not happen to anyone else. I don't know the defendant's situation. I don't know if they were struggling as badly as I was during that time or felt desperate. It's not for me to know. I just hope that by sharing my experience here, that there will be a general understanding of the gravity of the defendant's actions and the lasting impact they have had, and how I would not wish for this to happen to anyone else. And I ask, Your Honor, that you may consider that impact as well when determining the appropriate sentence for this case, so that there may be a better way going forward for all parties involved. Thank you for your time and consideration. This concludes my statement to the court.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. As to the recommendation, I have been able to review that with Mr. Steven, and I believe it is a fair and appropriate recommendation. It would ultimately ask the court to adopt it. Mr. Steven has been very communicative with me in this process, and I do believe that he will be do very well on probation. He is currently, as I did state prior, he is actively seeking employment, just as to fines and costs, respectfully requesting a payment plan as arranged by probation. Mr. Steven presents to the court with no criminal history, and I would ask that the court adopt probation's recommendation.
Does your client know where the quilt is?
No, Your Honor. To add a little context to the offense, Mr. Steven was a maintenance worker at an apartment complex, and he was in an apartment that he believed to be abandoned. He did take items that he should not have taken. He did return those items. He states to me that he does not recall a quilt being in those items, and unfortunately did not even see a quilt while in that premises. There were other items that were taken, and he acknowledges that, and he did return them. His original intention when he believed that the property was abandoned was to resell them to support him. However, he did return all items, and he was never in possession of this quilt. And Mr. Steven, I should add this, to be candid with the court, when we've had a couple of conversations with Mr. Steven, he's expressed he wished he knew where the quilt was, because he did at one point literally even say to me, that was my grandma's quilt, I'd want it back too, and I wish I knew where it was so I could give it back to the individual. But unfortunately, that was not one of the items that was taken and returned.
So Stephen, anything you want to tell the court before I impose sentence?
It was a very special situation with me as a maintenance technician. The management was going through a lot, and the plaintiff has experience, as I recall, after I discovered who I had made the accident with. I had been the face of that for even installing the kitchen faucet sink or the sink's faucet. The apartment has shared laundry. I know laundry gets taken from the machines, and there's no cameras or anything of the sort. Like I've said and stated, even since the beginning, that was never one of my intentions, was to keep anything or take anything from somebody who was still living there. There were signs that nobody was living there at the time, and I guess I was misinterpreted along with the communication from my supervisor, which was quite common. It seems in this area of work as a apartment maintenance, it's very critical and specific to our area. We're not quite treated the best. All I can say is I've been honest from the beginning. If I had the blanket, I would have given it back from the beginning, just like I gave everything else back. I had no ill will and wish no ill intentions for the plaintiff. That's all I would like to say, I guess.
Thank you. So sentence of the court, place the defendant on 12 months prosecutor deferred sentence. He is to pay $655 fines and costs, $360 probation oversight fees. When are you going to pay that, sir? Do you have anything today?
I have the full amount I could pay today, but it will definitely put me in financial burden as I'm on unemployment and have recently had to
How
move.
much can you pay today?
$500.
$500 today. And then when can you pay the balance of that?
I have by next month, May 23rd, so I have time to secure.
$500 today. The balance will be due by May 23rd, 2025. Okay. There should be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as requested by probation. You are to complete a theft class. You're to complete that as directed by probation. You're to complete 25 hours of community service. You're to maintain employment. You're to basically, I guess, find and maintain employment with verification to probation. I'll set a review hearing. That's to be held April 8th, 2026, 9 a.m. I will order 365 days in jail. Credit 2 days. The balance is suspended. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Steven. You're all set for today.
Thank you for your help. Take care.
Court calls the case of the People versus Javon Guster.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tay on behalf of Mr. Guster, who appears to be the student. Mr.
Javon
Guster,
Guster?
state your name, please. Oh, there, sorry.
All right, go ahead.
Teresa Blair on behalf of
Yes, Javon
Your
Guster.
Honor,
Go ahead.
Mr. Guster is before the court for a review hearing on a prosecutor deferred sentence. Mr. Guster has completed all terms accepting the financial component. He still owes a balance of $600.
No.
He's going to make a payment. Hold on one second, Your Honor. Apologize. Did make a payment of $100 that I am recommending for today's hearing. So his balance now is $500.
Okay.
Probation would ask that the court give Mr. Guster a chance to complete the prosecutor deferred with extending the prosecutor deferred sentence for a period of 6 months. That he pay the $100, which I did confirm that he did by today's date, then $100 per month thereafter. That all other conditions continue as previously ordered with the new review hearing date on October 8, 2025 at 9.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would respectfully request the court to adopt that recommendation.
All right, Mr. Guster, anything you want to say?
No.
Okay. I'll extend the prosecutor's deferred for a period of 6 months. Defendant is to pay $100 on it before today's date, which he has done. And then he's to pay $100 per month until paid in full. I'll continue all other terms as previously ordered. I'll schedule a review hearing for October 8th, 2025, 9 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, thank you very
Mr.
much.
Guster.
Court calls the case of the people versus Kimberly, Casten, Holtz. Good morning. All right, thank you. Go ahead.
Chris Clare on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Ms. Casten Holtz is before the court for her final review hearing on a prosecutor deferred sentence. As the court's aware, Ms. Casten Holtz has been with us for quite some time. She's very excited about today. Ms. Casten Holtz, although we have bumped along the way with the prosecutor deferred, we have gotten her back on track and she is in a really good place now. Given that all terms are completed and she has changed and corrected the errors along the way, probation is recommending that the court dismiss her case pursuant to the prosecutor deferred and discharge her from probation.
Ms. Casten Holtz, anything you want to say, ma'am?
Well, I could go on and on about how wonderfully I've been treated in this court and how respectful everyone has been, the kindness, the empathy, especially from Ms. Polera and Elin and you as well. I feel like you have taught me so many things, and currently I'm involved in some protest marches to defend the rule of law, just because the way that you run this courtroom, and I see the way that the clown car isn't going well in our government. So I've become active in that way for some civil rights and the rule of law. And I don't think that I would have ever gotten involved with that kind of stuff had I not been through everything that I've been through, the bumps included. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you so much for the patience. This is Kim's Liberation Day.
Kim's Liberation Day. That's fantastic. You know, it is great to hear you say all of that, not just because of what you said, but I remember the Casten Holtz that I first ran into in this case. At times, it wasn't a good picture, right? But this person that I see here today, this is a good picture.
Thank you.
This is, you know, when I get up every day, this is what it's really about. Is seeing somebody kind of improve their life, move on, get away from the things that were harming them. And a lot of times you just pray that you get to see that day that they don't do something that ultimately damages them or can be fatal. So it is with great joy and congratulations to you that I will indicate that this case is dismissed pursuant to the prosecutor's deferred sentence. I will discharge you from probation with improvement, and happy Kids Liberation Day. All right.
Thank you so much for honoring.
Thank you. You take care of yourself. Court does call the case of the people versus Zachary Harrington.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mr. Harrington, need a camera?
Yes,
Thank
Your
you,
Honor.
sir. All right. It's a show cause.
Mr. Harrington, can you state your name?
Zachary Harrington.
Your Honor, there is still a balance owing on this, I believe, 1454. I did discuss this with Mr. Harrington. He recently just started a new job at Food Group in Coldwater. I don't believe he's even gotten his first paycheck yet. He can start making payments on the soon, however, so we're asking for an adjournment on this day.
I'll adjourn the matter out to June 11th, 2025, 9 a.m. for progress on payments.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'll be sure to make a payment as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court calls the case, People versus Daryl Mitz.
Good morning, Assistant Court Defender Warrant on behalf of Mr. Mitz. I think we heard Mr. Mitz earlier.
Mr. Mitz?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, need a camera on.
While he's doing that, Your Honor, I will say I was unable to have contact with Mr. Mitz, so I would ask him to advise the court of how much he can pay moving forward on his balance.
Can you guys see me?
I think you're flipped around. Yep, we can see you now.
Go back on January 15th of 2024. He was to pay $100, $200 on, well, $100 on the 17th, $100 on the 31st of January, and then continue $100 per month payment. It appears to me he didn't do that.
Mr. Mitz, is there a reason why you're not in compliance with your payment plan?
So currently I had, well, I'm not trying to say this bill is more important than your court, but, I had to pay child support a large amount of money. So, this Friday I'll be able to make a $200 payment and then get back on my payments.
$200 by the 11th.
Yes.
And I'm going to indicate $200 by April 11th, 2025, then $100 per month. Beginning May 15th, 2025. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor.
Calls the case of the people versus Germaine Phillips.
On behalf of Mr. Phillips, who should be present to the court.
We don't have them. Not here.
I'm actually very surprised Mr. Phillips is not here. So he did respond to my email yesterday. There is still a balance to my understanding of $288. Zoom today. I would respectfully request an adjournment of the show cause for the record.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond $3,000. Give a 10% privilege. That warrant will issue immediately. Court calls case people versus Ryan Rawls. Okay.
On behalf of Mr. Rawls, who stands to my right, please state your name for the record, sir.
All right.
So Your Honor, today's the date and time set for a show cause. Mr. Rawls and I were unable to have a discussion prior to today. I believe there's still a balance of 120 owing.
Yes. Go ahead.
No, I understand the reason why this was so high. At first, it was 250,
Yeah.
and tacked on the warrants and all that.
How much have you paid some?
I can pay most of this today.
How much do you have today?
200.
You didn't pay anything before. You can pay 200 today.
215.
Now, people don't just carry around fives. He's got 220. Why are you holding the five? What? That's you. He's got 220. He's trying to save $5. Why? Because you got 20s, right? No, I'm just saying. So he's up here on a show called gonna short me. Because you see how he started out? 200. Then wasn't even gonna show me the respect of giving me like the whole 20. 215. And see, if I told him he needed to pay 220, I know what I get out of the counter, 220. He probably got another 20. Probably got 240. Huh? You got 227? What you see? He's got 227. He's gonna give me 15. Why are you doing that to me? No, see this. See, all right. Keep messing with me. Pay 220 today. I'll let you walk out of here with $7. Then when are you gonna pay the balance? On this balance, you owe an additional 200. Yeah,
warrant fees, or I heard that's
how's he negotiating? I don't know. He's negotiating with the money he got in his pocket, and when's the next time you can make a payment?
next week.
How much? Okay, here's what I'll do. Pay $100 today. Pay $100 by the 18th. If paid, I'll waive the rest of the balance. If not paid, then you're gonna owe the rest of that 200. So you can save yourself about $200 by doing it this way. I mean, $100. I'm sorry. I know I did it. So he's gonna tell me it's fair. I would have Alan check your pockets, make sure it's just 227. But anyway, go on, get the 220 paid. All right, young man. Take care. Court calls the case, People versus Shayla Tobias. No counsel. Shayla Tobias. Not present. Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond 5,000, 10% again. Warrant will issue immediately. I'm just trying to hold every penny he could. Court does call the case of the People versus Tyson Weslake. Is that you? He's been back there for that time. Huh? Yeah, he's been back there a while. Yeah, I'm sitting up there, I said, I know I'm gonna get to his case, but yeah, for this block, you would have. All right. State your name.
Tyson Scott Weslake.
All right. And you're here on a show cause. You owe 310.
All right, this is my story. I got sentenced by you.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't recommend probation. And I went to go pay the fee. I don't know what you sentenced me to.
I sent you to $250. You would have paid 50 that day.
I went to go pay the 50 and I asked her what's the balance. She told me $50. So what happened was, and I wasn't going to kick it that dog, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know what the balance was. I'm like, well, how was it $50? So I asked my attorney, well, why is this, I got a paper in the mail saying, oh, so I come up here and I guess I beat the paper on there, so.
What do you mean?
Your Honor, this is what I believe happened. I think that when Mr. Westlake got sentenced, the recommendation from probation, I think that the court maybe reduced his fines.
I did.
Okay, to $250. He had a $50 benchmark fee that was on there previously, or $100. So when Mr. Westlake went to the clerk's office to pay, they did not update the file from the sentencing, so they told him he only had $50. Then it got updated with the fines and costs being added. So that made his balance up to $300.
There's a note, JS, on the date of sentencing, for 250 fines cost, $50 due today, the balance by December.
Right, that's what I got. But
Yeah.
that was from the date of sentencing. But when he went up, I know what happened. When he went up, there was 100, which would have been the 2 warrant fees. And then he paid the 50, asked his balance. They hadn't updated the file with what you're reading and told him he owed 50.
Correct. So, Your Honor, since then, there was a notice of non-compliance that was mailed out to him. I don't know if he got it or did not get it, but that created an additional $60 in late fees for Mr. Westlake. Mr. Westlake did come to my office. He was very upset because there was all this misunderstanding, which I tried to explain. He did get upset. He did come back.
Did he yell at you?
Yeah, he did. But he did come back and wanted to make sure that I was aware that he was apologizing how he acted. So I will give him credit for that. So I'm not sure if the court would give any consideration to Mr. Westlake.
He yelled at you, though.
I know. However, he did come back and apologize.
Okay.
For that. But I'm asking if the court.
How much do you have today? How much do you have today with you?
I have nothing today. I'm dealing right now. I've been dealing with disability. I went through the whole process. It's been about 6 months. I got the paperwork. I just seen a psychologist about 4 weeks ago. I'm just waiting on. He told me I'm getting it.
When do you think?
Are
you working at all? Or
I've never had a job in the time.
Okay.
I've been in prison. I've never had a job. MDOC raised.
Your Honor, I will tell you that Mr. Westlake, and as the court probably remembers from like my PSI, he did struggle with substance abuse.
Yeah,
for a long
no, I
period of
remember.
time. Yeah. However, he's clean. He's been clean, and I think that staying clean, I think, has been the most important part. So when he came to my office, he was saying that this was going to send him back to music, which, I tried to talk to him about that, but
it's not just this. It's everything. I mean, it's like
just
25 years of me using some needle and arm. Why not
hold on. Just hold on.
It's like when I got clean, everything come at me at once.
Exactly. Okay. No, I get it.
That's how I feel now. It's like
I get it. I get it.
You breathe.
Well, yeah, you can.
I mean, that's how I feel.
Yeah. Well, okay, so let me just tell you this. Teresa's been with me, I don't know how long. How long you been with me, Miss Flair? Yeah. So when she tells me somebody came in and yelled at her, they usually go. I don't even listen. Now, the fact then that Miss Palera then told me that you then came back and you apologized, that was probably the smartest thing you could have done. Okay?
And I would have slept. Didn't I? mean, that's what I mean.
Got it. Okay. And the fact that she's willing to sort of, the other thing that it says to me about you is that she's willing to stand before the court and tell me this is kind of what happened. So you can kind of thank her for any grace you're going to get from me. Okay. Look, young man, and I'm just going to tell you this. I apologize for what happened at the clerk's office. I mean, I know it's not my fault because I told you in court, but when you went up there, your funds are limited anyway. You pay the 50. That's why I reduced it. You pay the 50, then you ask for your balance, and you're even honest with me. I'm not going to kick it. I'm not going to kick that dog. I'm just, if that's what you tell me I owe, that's what I owe. Right? I get it all. All right. And bottom line is, I ask you to do right. We got to do right too. And if we give you the wrong number, we give you the wrong number. I mean, then that's not how that should work. They should have updated the file. They should have seen what they could have just looked what I wrote.
I should have acted like that.
Well, no, it's okay. But they should have looked at what I wrote and then been able to tell you kind of what your balance was rather than just looking it up on the screen, the file not being updated and then telling you the 50 after you paid the 50, because that I can see that it was 2 bench warrants and those were the bench warrant fees. Okay. So when do you think that disability is going to come through? The folks told you, well, when do you think?
A couple months. I mean, it's.
Okay. All right. Good enough.
I mean, I could possibly
No.
start a payment plan with you like 25 months.
Just hold it a minute. Okay. That's what I'm going to do first. Because we messed up. Also. So you pay $100 by July 31st. That's about 3 months out or so. You get $100 in by that day. I'll waive the rest of the balance. And then you're done. Okay. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right. You're welcome. Take care. We're all set. Take care of yourself.